And lastly, Olivier Mordini.
Merci, Madame.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President. Well, good morning to all of you. First of all, I'd like to thank the members of the panel. Thanks to Diana Willis, Isabelle Durand, Bernard Vernion, and Mr. Saryusz-Wolski. As a representative of the 112 Foundation and the European Emergency Number Association, the ENA, we've been working for a number of years on raising the profile of this number. So thank you very much for your continued trust in our efforts and for giving us a chance to speak to you. Thank you for coming and listening too. Well, this is the second European 112 Day. We had a survey, a poll to see how much awareness there is among the general public, and it was rather sad because this has been actually on the boil for 20 years and really not all that much awareness, but there is something new. And that is that that all the people involved in implementing this, there's a conviction that this is something that can work, and we want people to use it properly. It's not something like a sort of European Trojan horse that's going to come in and push out our own national emergency numbers. But there are for example, 6,000 operations a year in Europe that can be and are put into motion thanks to this number. Now, 21 member states today call 112, or at least publicize 112 to their populations and then call on them to go and see simulations of emergency situations to try and get people to have a much better idea of exactly what this number involves, what services it can provide. Another very important element here is the Parliament and the Commission have reached a point where they can guarantee citizens that every stage, every link in the chain of events in the 112 system can provide a high level of quality, and that's a milestone for me. Another very important point here, as Madame Vernier said, (112) has helped to level out differences. Last July, there's a European Commission Reach 112 day that involved 20 organizations in 5 member states and encouraged them to set up centers of excellence for enabling accessibility through this number. That's to say, people with disabilities, and enabling them to have exactly the same level of quality and access to this number and the services it can provide than to the rest of the general public. It's one thing to have all telephone companies leaving a channel open for this number to be available, but what happens when you've actually called the number? Do you get a quick answer? Does the person listening to you know exactly what you need? And are they going to provide a response in an acceptable time frame? I think people see today that 112 can be a sort of a federating element for Europe. It can bring us together around a common goal, and that's very important. Now, 112 has been part of my daily life for the last 10 years. I was even surprised. Someone called me the Ayatollah of 112. I'd rather be associated to the disciples, the preaching disciples of Jean Monnet. But anyway, Let's gloss over that. But I'm a representative of this, of the importance and the possibilities of this number in a Europe which is not facing very easy times right now. There's a bit of a crisis in Europe, and the emergency services have this overview of the situation. They not only provide protection of citizens in the individual member states, but also outside the member states within European mobility. 200 million people cross the borders every year within our European Union. And the three institutions I see have really given 112 a privileged place on their agenda. And finally, if Europe has a face, the face which is its citizens, they're all different, but there's one element which is symbolic, which brings us all together, and that's a mouth, a nose, and two eyes. One, and two. So I'll leave you with that. Have an excellent 112 day, and thank you very much for your efforts to disseminate and publicize this number.
Thank you, Olivier, and thank you so much for all you do as an absolutely true European and for 112.